one of the many things that you do so well is show the game within the game in such a way that is not only entertaining and occasionally profane, but is just straight up what's being talked about and what's being perpetrated sometimes. So are we done with the spider tack? Is that all done, do you think, or what? Is that done?
We have a very funny update. MLB came out and they said, we are going to change the process of umpires checking the pitchers this year, because I think that's kind of them sneakily admitting that it ticked back up. And if you look at a lot of pitchers last year, at the end of the year, it ticked back up. So you go, oh, interesting, you're going to change the process. What do you think you have to do that's much more intense to catch these guys? And they announced that they will now be checking the pitcher's fingertips.
What's going on there? What do you think? What's going on there?
Seems like they might have, maybe that should have been the first place they checked from the start.
Instead of the belt? Instead of the belt and the shoelaces and all that?
They did belt, hat, glove last year. So I think a lot of pitchers said, okay, I'll just put it somewhere that's not those three places. So we will see. We will see, because at the end of in September last year, a lot of pitchers, it definitely ticked back up, and you're like, they might be having it again. So now the umpires will check their fingertips, and hopefully it goes away, because I don't like all those blights or the doubt that it puts into play.
What is pitch comm? What the hell is this thing? Can you explain it, and how this it might actually change the way that signs are stolen in baseball, Jomboy?
Yeah. So if I have this correct, I'm not 100%, but I believe it's a wristband that the catcher wears.
Yes.
And he signals the pitch that he wants to call to the pitcher, and the pitcher has a little speaker in his hat that like whispers it to him like Siri, and they're allowed to give two defensive players the hats as well. So you would guess it would be the shortstop and the second baseman, so they know what pitch is being called. And the idea is to stop pitch stealing, which in theory is good. And if that's all it is, I'm okay with it. The first time a team taps into the system and steals it electronically, I think you have to punish them, like fully punish them right away, because you know someone's going to try. But in theory, it should speed up the game. I do love. I'm pretty open to a lot of the changes of speeding up the game and making it all more entertaining and all that. I do love watching the pitcher and catcher communicate without words and shaking no and the fake shakes. Zach Greinke does a lot of fake shakes where he shakes no, but he doesn't really mean it, just to fake out the batter. So we'll lose a little bit of that, but if it takes away sign stealing and scheming and we get a more honest approach, I'm fine with that.
So it's in the hat? Like I can't wait to see how this works. And so if a shortstop and a second baseman have it, because it, from what I read, it not only communicates what the pitch is, but the location as well. And it works in English and Spanish as well. That, like, let's just say there's 6,000 fans in a stadium because a team stinks, or it's 12:30 at night and they went through a 3-hour rain delay. Is it possible somebody's leading off a second base and they hear something in the ear of communicating of the shortstop? Like, is that entirely possible of hearing that?
I'd love to test it out and see, because how loud is it?
Right.
I mean, can they hear it if the crowd is loud? Is now football come into play where you're screaming so the pitcher can't hear the call? Because then they'll just revert back to their fingertips. So that weirded me out when they said it was a robot saying it. Like, why wouldn't it just be like a bzz, bzz, or I don't know. It seems like a little buzz would be better, but to have someone whisper to you, I think it would throw me off my game if I had a robot talking to me.
Yeah, sometimes my guy Brockman gets in my ear and he sounds very robotic, and it throws me off a little bit too. So
that's a fair point.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.